How's it going, everybody? As you saw in the last video, I got this all down to bare metal. It looks pretty good. You can see I've been doing a little bit of work off camera, did a little bit of Bondo. This is pretty straight, so I'm not worried about here. What I am worried about is this side. Most of this, like this where I just feathered it in, really straight, really good. Don't have to worry about it. What I'm worried about is this panel right here. It looks like there used to be like a rust spot right here, so they cut it out and welded in a new piece. Let me get that out of your way. Yeah, and so this piece is like really bad. I don't know how well you could see that on camera, but it's pretty bad. It was like all just filled up with Bondo and didn't look too good. So what I'm gonna do is pound this spot out, pound a couple spots down there and a couple out front. Get those nice and smooth, and then I'm gonna start doing some body work. Alright guys, so my camera died, but as you can tell I put a layer of Bondo right there. I also smashed it out a little bit. And I just put a layer over there just to make it nice and smooth. I probably didn't need to do all this because it already had nice and smooth Bondo from the previous guy, but I wanted to knock a little bumps out because there was a couple like here and down here and smooth out those welds. I also put a little right down here, a little right here, a little right there, and I also kind of closed this gap up because I think it looks a little bit better when it's off. I also smoothed it out right here because there was a huge lip right there for some reason. Also put a little there, a little more there, and a couple of touch-up spots. If you're going to be restoring an old Jeep and you want to make stuff smooth, you really want to get some right here because where they bent it, it's kind of, you know, wavy. That's just because it's older technology that they used to bend this. But you really want some right there. But I got a trick for this to make it nice and easy to sand off. Goes pretty fast, and you can use usually only 1 or 2 pieces of sandpaper. Probably just for like this whole side and then 1 for that whole side. But let me show you. So what you want to do is get some water. It does say glass cleaner, but this is just water. You also want to get some sandpaper. I'm using a drywall sander, hand sander, and some drywall paper. This is 150. I'd probably say like the 60 or 80, whatever they have. It's probably a lot better. But I'm using this because it's all big flat surface. I mean, you can get one of those huge block sanders from Eastwood, but you know, you're spending 150 bucks for the sander and all the sandpaper that you're gonna have to use. This is about $15. Once this is all dry, you want to spray some of this water on here. This is still wet because it's a little cold out and it's just taken a little while, so I'm not going to spray it right now. But you want to spray down this whole piece with water, spray down your sandpaper, and just start getting it nice and smooth. It takes it down really lightly, but it goes kind of fast. So like you can really just fine tune on how smooth and how straight you want it. I did this on the hood, which I could show you right now. So as you remember in an earlier video, I put primer all over this, but I really wanted to make it nice and smooth because it's kind of like the first thing you see on a Jeep. So I sanded some spots down and put a little bit of Bondo on it, and it's nice and smooth now. This is probably actually ready just to paint. I'm probably not going to put a primer, but I might. It depends how I'm feeling. But yeah. Let's get back to it. I'm gonna let this dry overnight because it's getting late. So I'll be back with you guys tomorrow to sand this all down. Alright, so it's the next day. Well, actually it's a couple days later. And you see we've moved the Jeep to a different location because it's getting a little cold and we're about to paint and we don't want to paint in freezing cold. But what you want to do is spray this all down. Give it a nice liberal coating everywhere. This might seem counterintuitive to spray down wet dry Bondo, but I mean, it works so well that just leave it. And because I don't want to get my floor all messy, I'm just gonna put a bucket underneath, and then you just keep on going at it, and every once in a while just spray down your pad and the Bondo again. Every once in a while you're going to get it torn like that. You just got to replace it. There's really no point in saving it, so just replace it. A good tip is keep this as wet as possible, because the Bondo ends up getting kind of sticky once you start shaving off. And once it starts sticking, then that's when the paper rips. So if you keep it all clean, then it should not tear as much. But that also means more protection. Alright, so I got it sanded all down as much as I can. You can see there's a low spot there, little low there, there, and there. So I'm going to fill those up and keep on going. Alright, so I put another layer on. It's not fully, I can still see there's a little divot right along here. But I'm gonna let it dry maybe 30 minutes and then sand it down. I also got some of the rocker panel and over here bondoed. And then I also got there and a little here. Fill up this spot. And as you can see, as bad as that side was, look how good this side was. This is nice and smooth and, you know, barely any Bondo. It's really nice. Right, but I'm gonna let all that dry, so I'll be back here with you while sanding it. Alright guys, so I got it all nice and smooth. It's really flat now, so you probably can tell. Maybe. How about this way? Yeah, pretty flat. There's a couple pitting holes, like one right here, a couple down here, that I'm going to fill up. I also have all this to sand, all this, and all this. But I'm going to stop for tonight because the electric sander decided to want to die out on me, so I'm probably done for tonight. But this is also going to be the end of the episode. I'll get the rest of this done and that's sanded, and the other side sanded off camera. But I thank you all for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. This next video is probably going to be me priming it and doing all the wet sanding on that, which is going to take some time. But thank you all for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and goodbye.